had another D3+1 battle report. This is 1500 points Eldar, the old codex Eldar, against the new Tau.
Old Eldar versus new Tau.
Old Eldar versus new Tau. Next week it'll be new Eldar versus new Tau. But for now, the old codex. So here we have 1500 points of Eldar, led by Eldrad. We also have the Avatar in there, still not painted unfortunately. We have 10 Guardians with a missile launcher. There are 5 Rangers with a Pathfinder upgrade. We have 5 Fire Dragons and a Fire Dragon Exarch who has the Fire Pike. Actually, he doesn't have the Fire Pike. I didn't put the upgrade in. He doesn't have the Fire Pike.
Oh no!
They're coming in the Wave Serpent, which has Twin Link Bright Lances. There are 3 War Walkers, all armed with Scatter Lasers. There's no better choice. We have a Wraith Lord joining us today. He has 2 Flamers, and he has a Bright Lance and a Missile Launcher. Over on the side there, 3 Dark Reapers and a Dark Reaper Exarch. The Exarch is Crack Shot and Tempest Launcher. And we have 2 squads of 3 Guardian Jet Bikes, and they both have Shuriken Cannons, 1 in each squad.
Okay, here we have 1500 points of Tau. They are being led by my new commander, and he has got a whole host of stuff, so I'm going to have to read from this list, unfortunately. Let's see, I gave him 2 fusion blasters. That is not a twin-linked one, it is 2 separate ones, which you're allowed to do as per the FAQ. He has a drone controller, shield generator, Neuroweb system jammer, Honor Gauntlet, multi-spectrum suite, and I gave him the Iridium battlesuit to improve his save and toughness.
Does he make your tea as well?
He does everything. I also have my Cadre Fireblade. He only has a single shield drone this time. I'm using less, well, I was going to say I'm using less drones. No, I'm not, because I'm using a drone squad. That is 8 gun drones, and they're going to be accompanying my commander. I have a squad of 7 Fire Warriors with 1 Sashui upgrade, and they all have bonding knives. There is 9 here, I think. Yes, I think so. There's a squad of 8 and a squad of 9. They have bonding knives, nothing else. We have 2 squads of 5 Pathfinders. 1 in each has an ion, what was it called? Ion something. Ion rifle. And they are actually modelled with it. Can you tell I'm still learning the army? Next, 1 sniper controller and 6 sniper drones. I'm still giving them a chance even though they haven't done much so far. 2 Riptides. We'll start with this one. He has an ion accelerator. Early warning override, stimulant ejector, ignore the car going past my window. This one has his heavy burst cannon, he also has a stimulant injector, and he has a counter-fire defense system. And to finish on, I have 2 missile spam broadsides, so they're high-yield missile pods, twin-linked smart missile pods, and 2 missile drones each. They don't have any shield generators this time.
Okay, here we have deployed, currently with Eldar going first before somebody tries to steal the initiative.
Thank you for reminding
So
me.
we have the relic, there it is in the centre of the board there. You've got hammer and anvil, gunline Tau all lined up there. Night fighting is on. My warlord trait is intimidating presence, so enemies within 12 inches of the warlord must use their lowest leadership, not highest.
I can't remember the name of mine, but it means my warlord and his unit do 3d6 thrust moves rather than 2d6.
Thrusting!
Okay, so we're ready for me to try and steal then?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, did you say night fighting?
Night fighting is on.
Okay. I did not steal.
So stay tuned for Eldar turn 1. Okay, end of Eldar turn 1. Eldrad cast Fortune on the Dark Reapers here, and he did Guide on the Walkers. He actually had to do that twice because he failed the first one. It happens once in a blue moon.
665.
665, Eldrad managed to fail a psychic test. So the Walkers put all their shots into the squad of Fire Warriors there, and I managed to take out, what was it, 5 of them in the end, including one of the drones?
Yeah, 4 in the drone.
4 in the drone.
And the morale held.
They managed to pass their morale by 2 or something like that. The jet bikes, as you can see, they've moved and then turbo boosted up here to where the relic is. Unfortunately, I can't make an assault move back with, you're looking at the wrong bikes, the bike's down here.
Yeah, sure, no, already.
These bikes, yeah, they can't move back with the relic because you have to seize the relic at the end of your movement phase, and I wasn't seizing it until the end of my shooting phase.
Yes.
The Avatar moved and ran the Guardians. moved a little bit just to get some line of sight blocking here. Shot their missile launcher over into the same squad here of Fire Warriors, but it scattered wildly, I believe.
Yeah.
Wave Serpent snuck up behind the building, fired the twin link bright lances, took out one of the broadsides here, instant death. So that was joyous. And lastly, I didn't fire my Wraith Lord.
Night fighting, you couldn't reach anything.
Are you sure?
36.
36.
Up to the line there, and you couldn't hit the.
Maybe.
Too late now.
Maybe. So the Wraith Lord didn't do anything at all. The Dark Reaper X-Arch shot his multi-barrage over here, and it scattered wildly and hit nothing.
And they failed the morale. And
I managed to use... No, that's... How did I manage to take them down to a morale check then? That was the Bright Lances.
Yeah.
So they failed their morale and their running. Fleeing from the battlefield.
Okay, the end of the first tower turn, and as we were just saying prior to recording, it's tough to remember everything that happened when you play an army that does everything in the shooting phase and nothing else. I regrouped, that's the first positive thing, just 3 inches, and then they snap fired. I can't remember if their snap fire was effective. They fired at the bikes. I think they might have killed a bike. Or maybe 2.
One.
Our cameraman is saying 1, I will trust his judgment. The cadre and the survivors there also fired at them, and I think they were the ones that took out the others.
Yeah.
Yep. The Pathfinders marked them up, which helped, I believe. No,
Yeah,
they marked up
they
the
marked up.
I was going to say your Pathfinders. They're Rangers.
Pathfinders.
They marked up those Rangers so that my snipers could fire at his snipers and ignore cover, ignore armour. Not nice when you get shot at by that, is it? So they all died.
I have one guy that does that, not a squad.
One guy's enough. That squad, I can't remember if that squad... Oh yes, they fired at the jetpacks that were over here. So did a few of them that could see, because the Riptide wasn't there until the end of the turn. Killed 2 of them. The survivor failed his morale and has ran all the way back there. My commander and his drones had originally moved up here. They all unloaded into the Avatar, and just through sheer number of strength 5 wounds, he failed his saves and died.
Yeah, I think I had 6 wounds to roll for, and I failed like 5 of them.
None of them with commander either.
Yeah, none of them with the commander, because commander has fusion blasters anyway, and I don't think they can hurt the Avatar.
5 drones killed the Avatar.
Oh yeah, and it was only 5 of them that could see, not the full 8. Yeah.
Yep.
So also that he made his thrust move in the assault phase to get into there. This Riptide fired at the walkers and managed to take down 1, I think.
You did?
And then he assault moved behind the building there. What does that leave? The other Riptide. The Riptide fired at the walkers as well. Did he deal? No,
No, I
he
got
cover
cover.
saved it, and then for no good reason, his assault move, I just sent him flying forwards. So I got first blood there because of the Pathfinders.
But you could have had it over here
3
as well,
times.
or you could have had it here.
So the relic is now unclaimed,
Yep,
and you're losing troops.
I am. Okay, end of Eldar turn 2. 2 less models on the board. The jetpack over there failed his morale check and just sort of continues to run off the board.
He will regroup. They always do.
Over here, Eldrad, Psychic Powers, Fortune and Guide on the Dark Reaper squad he's in, and Guide on the Walkers. The Wraith Lord shot everything into the Riptide here, missed with it all. The 2 Walkers shot into the Riptide. Did they shoot into the Riptide or did they shoot up into the... I can't remember. Where did the Walkers? No, the Walkers. The Walkers.
Fired into the Riptide.
Walkers shot into the Riptide and did nothing, yet he made all his saves. The Dark Reapers shot up into a squad of Fire Warriors here, and I took out 3 of them.
Well, something killed 2 here, and then 3 died here.
The
Dark Reapers, I believe, were... Yeah, because the Fire Dragons killed the Riptide.
Yes, the
Dark
Fire
Reapers
Dragons
fired
killed the
here.
Riptide.
I can't remember who fired there.
It was the Reapers that killed the ones over here.
Oh, was it? Okay, my mistake. So who was it that killed them? Oh, it was the missile from the Guardians.
The Guardian
That's
missile
what it
launcher.
was.
Almost forgot. Sometimes they do something.
We're not used to these bigger games where there's a lot more to keep track of.
So the Fire Dragons finished off the Riptide. They seem to be the most reliable way of just getting through it, assuming that you haven't used your reactor to give you a 3+ save by
Yes,
accident.
I forgot to activate either Riptide in my turn.
I fired my Twin Link Bright Lance from the Wave Serpent here at this broadside, hoping to punch straight
Kill
through
it.
it. But I failed both the hit rolls, so
Yep.
that was fantastic. So stay tuned for Tal Turn 2.
Okay, this is the end of the second tower turn, and I will still struggle to remember everything that happened because we end up chatting away for too long when we're playing turns. This squad of fire warriors ran because they couldn't really shoot anything, and, well, moved and then ran, I should say, but they only ran an inch. They also moved and ran because I wanted them in a bit of cover. These Pathfinders marked 1 marker light on the tank. These Pathfinders got 2 on the fire dragons. The snipers fired at the fire dragons and killed 3, 4?
4 of them are dead. So
I know, I couldn't remember if only then did it because also the cadre and his 3 guys also shot at them.
I think the cadre took out 1.
Combined between the 2 of them, they killed 4 fire dragons. Exarch and one of the other guys is still alive. I had to use the Riptide to finish off.
Leadership test on it.
Oh yeah, on camera leadership test.
They're fine. I think. Wait. No, I think the Exarch is 9 actually. Let me just double check. He's 9, so they failed that.
2d6.
When you don't want to roll high, you roll high. What? That is unbelievable. You can't make a 3+ armor save for the first 2 turns, and now you can't go under 10. Wow. Okay. It makes it easier for me to recap when it happens on camera. Oh yeah, the Guardians need to do it as well because they lost 5.
That's true.
So hang on, let's say first fly. They all fired at them from the drones plus my commander. Because my commander didn't fire and he has a drone controller, they were BS5, ignore cover, and they actually ignored their armor. So it was straight killed the ones that could see. And then the assault moved here.
Come on, Guardians!
So
you can do it!
Come on, Guardians!
Everyone run.
Come on, Guardians!
Yes! Just on 8. Just there,
okay.
8.
Okay. To briefly recap, the drones for the surviving broadside moved in front of it so that he couldn't be insta-killed by bright lances at least. And the Riptide I was allowed to do my Nova even though I forgot. They were nice to me this turn. He took out the tank, it's wrecked, so it is actually still there but it's a wreck now, and then he assault moved from roughly where he was to here. And I think that was everything. It was really hard to do Tau recap turns. Can I go back to Space Marines?
Okay, end of Eldar turn 3. Not an awful lot happened. The Wraith Lord over here, he shot into this squad here, missed with both shots.
Yep.
The 2 walkers fired into the cadre squad and I took out 2 guys. They
and
passed
one wound on the cadre.
And one wound on the cadre and they passed their morale.
They did, they got just enough.
The Reaper Exarch tried to take out that broadside over there but he missed spectacularly.
Yeah, went way off.
The Guardians. I passed.
Hardy Guardians.
Before that, the jet bike managed to regroup finally.
So did the Fire Dragons.
And the Fire Dragons regrouped over here.
Did you snap fire with both of them?
I didn't shoot anything from here.
Okay.
2 fire at the range.
Right.
The Guardians shot into the
drones,
and I took out a couple of them. I think actually with the shooting, and then charged them. Unfortunately. 4 of them died to Overwatch fire, so only 1 Guardian made it into
because
assault.
I finally got to use supporting fire because the Riptide there could join in.
So 1 Guardian made it into assault. He took out a drone himself, and the drones did nothing back. He managed to make his saves. No, he didn't manage to.
The drones missed.
They missed with all their hits. So it was down to the commander to save the day, and he splattered that poor little Guardian into paste.
Yeah. And then they consolidated about 3 inches.
It would have been quite amusing to see a Guardian sweeping advance.
There's slightly out of coordination there.
So, that's it for Eldar turn 3.
Okay, the end of the third Tau turn. And you know what else makes it confusing to do recaps? Assault moves. I have too many of them. Anyway, broadside and drones fired over at the walkers using smart missiles so they don't need line of sight, etc. I think they only managed to take out the first one. And the second one had to be taken out by the Riptide, which then assault moved where you see him now. The Pathfinders all marked up the walkers as well, but they actually only got 1 on it to stick, because 1 had to fire snapfire because they moved. The snipers fired to no effect at the Wraith Lord at the back there. This Firewire squad, they probably won't be able to see, it's just the small 5-man one that's lost 1 guy. They fired at the surviving jet bike and failed to do anything. He's saved him, I believe.
Allow myself
to introduce myself. And finally, the drones and my commander that were here finished off the Fire Dragons, and then they got their 3d6 assault move because of his Warlord trait and jumped back to there. And that was it.
Okay, end of Eldar turn 4. Not very much happened. Eldrad did Fortune and Guide on his squad here, and he did Fortune on the Wraith Lord. Wraith Lord moved over here, shot into the commander and his squad, missed with both guns. The jet bike shot all the way up the side of the board, all the way over there on his own. He's
Attacking
hardcore.
my dice pile.
The Reapers shot into a squad of Pathfinders over there and killed them all. That's it.
Yep.
Very quick. It took about as long as it took me to recap it to actually play it.
That's true. Okay, end of the Tau turn 4. Not a lot happened in this turn because there's not much left to do really. Snipers fired to no effect at the Wraith Lord. The broadside and its drones fired at the Dark Reapers. I think they actually did a casualty or 2. The Riptide also tried to fire. Oh, the Riptide did the other casualty actually. And then assault jumped there. Unfortunately, my huge assault jump with my commander and his drones in the last turn meant that they were out of range this turn, so I made a mistake there. So they ran and then moved there. This squad of Firewars moved and ran. This squad stayed hidden there. These Pathfinders moved back and used their pulse carbines this time rather than Markalites to kill the jetbike that snuck down that corner. The Cadre and his one remaining fire warrior moved up there. And that was it, except you should have done a leadership on Eldar and his Dark Reapers.
I shall come do that now.
And I almost stand on my dog in the process. If anyone's wondering what the car is, it's my dog.
They're fine.
Okay.
Okay, end of Eldar turn 5. We have decided to end on turn 5, so there will be one more Tau turn after this. It's just so that we've got room for another pretty big game. So Eldrad did Fortune and Guide on his squad here. The X-Arch tried to shoot his barrage over into Commander and his squad over there. I hit the Commander twice, but yeah, he saved through it. The Wraith Lord passed his Wraith Sight test, moved over here, shot both his guns into that squad. Didn't hit with either. He actually took a wound, in fact.
Yes, he did. Oh, the dice test
because
of my neural web thing giving him get hot on his guns.
Yes, and that's every turn of the game. The Wraith Lord has failed to hit with either of his guns, even though he is BS4. So to get some revenge, I suppose, he then charged in and
killed the commander.
Challenged by the commander, and then killed him.
I challenged for the hell of it because he
just
was
for
dead
fun.
either
Yeah.
way.
So he, killed him, and they're now stuck in combat.
With the drones, yes.
With the drones. So on to Tau turn 5, the final turn.
Okay, end of the final Tau turn. A lot of stuff I did technically didn't matter. The only thing that did matter was this Firewire squad that was hiding here. The closest one had always been within 6 inches to get into range with the relic, so that was my plan. He has done that. The broadside moved up and his drones fired at the Dark Reaper, did nothing. This Firewire squad moved and then ran to secure Linebreaker. We've handled the assault here and the drones got overrun by the Wraith Lord as to be expected. The Riptide is actually on top of the tank, but because we don't want to damage the very pretty paint job, he's sitting here. We also haven't done his shooting yet because I rolled for my Nova engine to overcharge the heavy burst cannon again and I got it. So we're going to do it on camera, him firing over at Eldrad. So I have my heavy 12 dice here. I'll roll it here while there's room. So ones are get hots.
I see 3.
That is 3. His saves. He failed 2 of his saves. Feel no pain.
Pass.
He took a wound. Okay, so that was his first wound of the game. Now, these are all, well actually, those are misses. So out of that, you didn't get too many hits. It'll be 2s to win because it's strength 7 or 6 either way.
It'll be 2s.
3. Yeah, 2s. So again, no rending, so it's utterly pointless me doing this. Still, 5 saves. Do I do them one at a time in case it does get through to Eldrad?
Well, Eldrad is online with that guy, but I'll do one of them first. Safe.
He's fine. He failed.
Reroll for guy.
For fortune, whatever. One dead. Next guy.
Now they're about even, but we'll go with it.
Yep.
They're fine.
Okay. Now, because the reason I pointed out he should be on the tank is because that means his fusion blaster is in range. So unfortunately, it's not going to hit Eldrad because the other guy's closer. But
no, Eldrad is.
Is he? Oh, to the Riptide. To the Riptide, he probably is.
No, it's.
I would say it is.
They're about even.
Well,
I'll look after them regardless.
He missed, but it's twin linked. He missed again because he's BS Eldar.
BS Eldar.
So shall we do the recap now?
Yeah.
That was the last thing.
Let's roll that in all in one go.
Okay, so you killed my Warlord, but I got first blood, so they counter each other out. Yeah. I have Linebreaker, you don't. And I hold the relic. So
it's 3 points for the relic, 1 point for first blood, and 1 point for Linebreaker. So that's 5. And I have Slay the Warlord. So that's 1. So it's 5-1.
But you didn't get tabled this time, so it's an improvement.
Still testing.
Okay, so we've picked our most valuable players. You might think I picked the Riptide that's still alive at the end, but actually I'm picking the one that's dead. And there's a very good reason for that. I used the honeypot strategy. I knew he wanted to badly kill a Riptide, so I threw one into his face to do that, and it drawed the fire of all his hard-hitting stuff that could have easily killed my Pathfinders or Fire Warriors.
Well, the fire dragons, they did the job.
Yeah, they did the job, but they weren't the first thing to fire.
True.
So he did his job, I think. But you did pick the Fire Dragons for killing him.
Yes, I picked the fire dragons for killing the very model that they killed. Purely because, well, that's a reliable way of dealing with it.
Yes,
basically.
you found a reliable way to kill one.
That is and they're essentially, in this codex, they are the only reliable way of killing most things, really.
To be honest, it's only because you forgot to supercharge it.
Oh, I technically could have had a 3+ Enron if I remembered.
That's
but
true.
I forgot. And wouldn't necessarily have saved him. It might have, though.
And you can't guarantee that you'll get that every time, because
True.
you could fail the
Yeah,
the
and it's
overcharge.
a 1 and a 2, not just a 1. So that concludes this one. Stay tuned. We've got a 2,000 point match to hopefully record today with my Space Marines, so I should hopefully know what I'm doing with that one.
Fantastic.